There used to be a picture of me with my dad. Or at least I was told it was me with my dad. I was a little baby, and my dad was doing some sort of push ups. There was a big push up bar or pull up bar, and he was hanging upside down. His legs were over the bar, and he was upside down, and he had me as a little baby. He was holding me as a little baby while he was upside down on the pull up bar. It's like one of those young, like, hot dad pictures. I don't mean like hot, like I was sexually attracted to my dad, but he was a young man. He was just in the army or in the military. He was doing a good, he was all ripped and stuff, and he had a baby. And I think it was the kind of picture my mom probably thought was like, "This is my husband." I took a picture of him. Look, it's right here in the book. And then there was a picture of me at Christmas with my dad, and I had a little like a ribbon on my head. And they used to tell the story about how at Christmas they bought these Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls. They were big dolls. They were bigger than me. But they took them out of the box to give them to me the first Christmas, and I didn't care about the dolls. I wasn't interested in the dolls at all. All I wanted to do was play with the boxes. So I played with the boxes. And those are the only like real pictures that I remember for a while, except that my mom was obsessed with taking us to Sears. My mom would take me and my sister to Sears to get our pictures taken, portraits taken. My mother was a sewist. She sewed. So she would always make dresses for us. And my sister, who's like 18 months younger than me, always had a pink dress, and I always had a baby blue dress. This is what she would do. When she would make dresses, I got the blue dress, my sister got the pink dress. This went all the way back. And you could see picture after picture. You could at least see picture after picture of me and my sister going to Sears to get our pictures taken, our portraits taken. And she was in a pink dress, and I was in a blue dress. This is the way it was for as long as I can remember, or as much as you could see, as what you could see. Now, do I look different now? Of course, that's what happens to your little kid. Little kids happen. You grow up stuff like this. They used to tell me this picture. They had these two stories from my childhood that I remember. One was that one. That was the one they would talk about me in Christmas and the Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls. And I wasn't interested in the dolls. I was interested in the boxes. Well, I mean, who's psyoping what covertly or overtly. My mother was a seamstress. She also made dolls. She made doll faces, including Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls. She made them better than other people. She was so good at it. She had us very meticulous. She would hide all the seams so you couldn't see them. You couldn't see the thread in the back. Everything was straight. Everything was even. It was something that her business partner was very disturbed by. As a matter of fact, I think there was a certain level of jealousy that she had because my mother would consistently make dolls and doll faces that were better than hers. And, whatever, male, stuff like that. May or may not have something to do with whatever was going on with me being more interested in the box than the doll, right? If my mother can make a doll better than yours, why would I be interested in your dolls? Right? I mean, if you don't want to acknowledge my mother because you can't make a doll as good as my mother, and all I'm really interested in is the box you're packaging it in, why would I be so interested in the packaging? Did you maybe steal something from my mother and try to repackage it and say it's yours? Maybe I don't need to inspect the doll. I already know it's my mother's. The other story they used to say is that one night I was sleeping in the crib out in the front room. Why they would put a baby in a crib in the front room? I mean, I'm sleeping in the crib in the front room. We never had cats. I never remember actually having a cat when I was growing up. We always had dogs. But I'm sleeping out in the front room as a baby, and the cat comes and sleeps on my face. And the next morning they wake up and they smell something. They're like, "Oh my God, what is that?" It turns out somebody had left the gas on in the stove or there was a gas leak. But because the cat slept on my face, I didn't die because I didn't inhale the gas. The cat slept on my face. The cat died. It's sad. But I didn't because the cat slept on my face. These are the only two stories from when I was a kid, before I had my own memories that I remember. These are the stories that they would tell me that were stories about me when I was a kid. The story about me and the doll boxes, and the story about the cat that slept on my face when I was a baby, sleeping in the front room while they were in their bedroom. Right? I'm sure it's an absolutely true story. Why would my parents lie to me? Why would my parents lie to me? Why is the first memory I have in my life me in a classroom being told to lay down for nap time on a mat It's nap time. You need to lay down for a nap. And I pull the mat's pulled out. I lay down on the mat, I go to sleep. That's my first actual memory. That's my first, I don't have any actual memories before that. I believe I was supposed to be in kindergarten. And the only other thing I remember about kindergarten is sitting at a table, looking at something, and I'm supposed to describe it. See, they were very interested in testing my mental acuity when I was a kid. I mean, they tested everybody, right? But apparently when I was in kindergarten, apparently when I was in fourth grade, apparently when I was in sixth grade, and then there was that whole thing my junior year with the SATs. They were really interested in testing me and always thinking somehow, reflecting somehow that I performed better than they expected. Oh, you're not actually disabled. You're not actually an idiot. You're not actually retarded. I see. Well, see, at some point the story came up where I had a memory and I was sitting on my father's shoulders. And the way the memory implant works is that I'm sitting on my father's shoulders and my legs are going down over his shoulders. I'm sitting on his shoulders. And I'm supposed to be able to feel the metal from what he's wearing on the back of my legs. Was I actually at Ronald Reagan's inauguration? Or was I somewhere else? How long are you going to play this game? Now, it may not actually be a real memory, right? That may not be a real memory. It could just be a memory implant that they put there later. Why would they put that memory implant there later? And why would I have no memories from before I was in kindergarten? None. Because the way it seems like is the first memory I have is somebody telling me to lay down because they're going to induce a state of sleep and then they're going to transport me somewhere else. You understand? And then for whatever reason, part of the transport is going to be me waking up from the nap. And so what they could do is once I lay down on the mat and go to sleep, they transport me and then they send me somewhere else and they put me in a classroom while I'm asleep. And then I wake up in the classroom. And it's as if I never left. See, that sounds more logical to me. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't go to Ronald Reagan's inauguration, just so you know. Right? Yeah.